Well, some words can be very difficult to pronounce. Wait, words, worlds, worth. Well, how about seat and sit and west and vest? Hi, I'm Teacher Rod, and today we're going to be talking about words that are difficult for students of English to pronounce. Let's go. Okay, let's start with the sound of RL. I've spoken about this before, and we talked about this. There's another video of mine here talking about world. But take these words here, like word and world. The first word is the sound of RD, so there's no ERL sound. There's just word. Some people, when they try to say the second one, world, will end up saying the first one, word. What is the difference? Look, you can try to pronounce this way. We're old, we're old, we're old. And when you put them together, it becomes world. So that sound, world, world, becomes just one. The same sound can be applied for girl or swirl or curl. You want to try? World, world, world. Okay, here's a big one. The sound of TH. TH can be either voiced or unvoiced. When it is unvoiced, it means that the air, only air passes through your mouth. For example, when you say worth, birth, month, you see, there's only air, there's no sound. Be careful when you say things like myth. Some people will try to say it, will say miss, but that's a different word. Worth, birth, month, myth, just air. That's going to be different when you think about voiced TH sounds, which means that there's going to be a sound with the vocal that you produce with the vocal cords. See the difference? Together. Now there's a sound that my vocal cords are producing together with the word. Breathe, not only but breathe. This. Be careful when you say the sound of, or say words using the sound of TH, because some people will end up saying dough instead of though. Remember to put your tongue in between your teeth, okay? Okay, the sound of W. Lots of students, especially from the eastern part of Europe, will sometimes mistake or mix the sound of W with V. Now, when you see this word here, west, I've heard some of my students trying to say it and then end up saying vest. So I've heard people say instead of we will, they would say vi will. Can you hear the difference? The first part is we, west, which is very different from v, vest. Just remember Darwin or Washington. If you forget about it, just try to remember common words like Washington, for example. Okay, now the sound of I and E. And here I have a little tip to give you. Look, words, get words like this, sit and seat. Now, if you don't speak English as a first language, you will say, my goodness, it's the same. It's not, I promise you, it's very different. Pick the first one, sit, sit. Do you want to try to repeat this after me? Sit, sit. It's like the sound of I, sit, which is very different from the sound of E, seat. Now hear this, sit, seat. Try it. Sit, seat. It's the same idea when you talk about bit and beat, and the classic bitch and beach. It's all the same sound. Now, sometimes my students will ask me, what about, why does the I sound like I, or I sometimes. And here's the tip. For words like bit, you have no vowel after the consonant. Take a look at this. Bite. So why is it different? Because the first word bit, there's the letter T and no vowel after that. When I add the letter E, then the sound of I becomes I, which is the sound that originally has in the alphabet. Bit, bite. Think about this. Nick, right? How about this? Nike. Look, because I put the letter E after the K, the I will have its original sound. You will go back to the alphabet. Nick, Nike. And it works with other vowels too, like pal, like a pen pal. And if I add the letter E, pale goes back to the alphabet sound. Does that make sense? Grammar, pronunciation, conversation challenges, hit that subscribe button for more.